SpaceX has done something no one ever saw coming, with many still stunned at what just happened. But before anyone could gather their thoughts, SpaceX's CEO Elon Musk made a shocking announcement, further dropping those jaws. Well, this started after SpaceX successfully caught the Super Heavy booster, marking one of the most impressive engineering feats in history. Standing nearly 400 feet, 121 meters tall, the empty Starship, including Starship 30 and Super Heavy B-12, launched at sunrise from the southern tip of Texas near the Mexican border. It soared in an arc over the Gulf of Mexico, resembling previous Starship launches. Most of these rockets were destroyed shortly after liftoff or during their descent into the sea. The most recent launch in June was the most successful yet, as it completed its flight without exploding. This time, Musk pushed the envelope further, and the company took the risk of returning the first stage booster to the launch pad just 7 minutes after liftoff. The launch tower, equipped with large metal arms called chopsticks, successfully caught the descending 232-ton 71-meter booster. Musk proudly announced the success via X, and many people were quick to react to the success. The launch window opened at 7 a.m., 1200 hours GMT from SpaceX's Starbase in Boca Chica, Texas. Liftoff occurred at 7:25 a.m. with the Raptor engines performing flawlessly, propelling the second stage Starship into orbit on its way to the Indian Ocean west of Australia, where it would attempt to land on a water platform. Meanwhile, after separating from the Starship at around 74 kilometers in altitude, the Super Heavy booster began its return to the launch pad, where it was caught by the two giant robotic arms. The decision to attempt the catch was made just minutes after the booster began descending. SpaceX confirmed that the flight director had to make a real-time decision using manual control on whether to proceed with the landing. Both the booster and launch tower had to be stable, otherwise the booster would have fallen into the bay as seen in previous attempts. Everything was assessed as ready for landing, highlighting the significant risks involved in catching the rocket with Mechzilla. The decision required decisiveness and bravery, a testament to the team's capabilities. The booster's landing process was completed extremely quickly, taking only 1 minute. After reaching supersonic speeds, the Super Heavy initiated its landing burn with 13 engines firing in a staggered sequence from the inside out. This method ensured balance, control, and a reduction in the rocket's descent speed. The booster descended vertically until T plus 6 minutes and 32 seconds, stopping just 5 seconds before reaching the optimal landing position. It then used 3 engines in the correct configuration to land before moving toward the tower for the catch. This was an incredible achievement, especially considering that in the worst-case scenario, SpaceX could mitigate damage to its launch tower. The rotating motion of the 3 engines ensured the Super Heavy's smooth movement, making the chopstick catch appear gentle. Loud cheers and excitement erupted from SpaceX employees, marking a monumental milestone for both the company and the U.S. space industry. Previously, there were concerns about the Super Heavy sonic boom upon landing. This could affect surrounding areas and had thus led the FAA to delay the launch permit for Starship Flight 5. However, SpaceX demonstrated that this concern was unfounded, and with their recent success, the launch was able to take place. While the FAA deserves credit for issuing the permit, the agency should also reflect on the delay caused by these concerns. There were still a few issues to address though. The only major problem encountered by Super Heavy B-12 was that the lower section near the engines caught fire. This was likely due to the rocket's descent speed and an unsynchronized engine restart, causing the flames to be blown back toward the booster. The fire started in the aft section, probably at the quick disconnect connection point, and continued to burn for a while before gradually dying down. Additionally, Musk tweeted that some of the outer engine nozzles were slightly warped from high heat and strong aerodynamic forces, but these were considered minor and easily fixable. It is expected that some issues will arise during Starship's development. SpaceX will need to make a few more attempts to catch the booster in order to fully study its reusability potential. Once SpaceX achieves its goal of reusing the booster, which seems inevitable, the world's largest rocket will almost certainly become reusable. Reusing the upper stage will take more time, but SpaceX's ability to rapidly build ships means that this won't pose a significant problem in the near future. As for the second stage Starship, after separating from the booster, it continued its flight toward a controlled landing in the Indian Ocean, where it was expected to sink to the bottom. Following essentially the same trajectory as the previous flight, it re-entered Earth's atmosphere about 50 minutes after liftoff. The ship then attempted a belly flop maneuver, falling horizontally before using onboard engines to reorient itself for a vertical landing. During the previous flight, the flaps controlling the landing process nearly burned up and disintegrated, and at least one flap appeared damaged during re-entry. However, this time the Starship remained intact and landed gently in the water, after which it exploded as planned. SpaceX had no plans to recover the spacecraft for this flight. SpaceX had upgraded the software and improved the Starship's thermal protection to better handle the scorching heat of re-entry. This proved effective as the re-entry process went smoothly, though the spacecraft exploded once again. The impressive part was that it landed nearly exactly where intended. A camera mounted on a buoy in the ocean captured the final moments, making for a truly spectacular display. This moment is something that will likely stay in the memory of space enthusiasts. With this outstanding success, SpaceX is writing its name in the history books. This joy is just the beginning, as SpaceX will continue to make progress. One of the next major steps will be SpaceX attempting to catch the Starship itself. This might take a few trial launches, but one thing is for sure, SpaceX can handle this. NASA's timeline of sending astronauts back to the moon's surface gives the company some pressure, so this success couldn't have come at a better time. It is evident that SpaceX's achievements are important for humanity's future in space. As you know, Starship has been selected by the space agency to serve as the lunar lander for the Artemis 3 mission. The mission is set to transport astronauts to the moon in late 2025 or early 2026. One of the conditions given to SpaceX is that the Starship must complete a series of certification flights, and the crew carrying certification is a vital step. Today's success, however, sets Starship on the right path. SpaceX's vision for Starship goes beyond a lunar exploration. When Elon Musk first introduced the concept, he referred to it as the Mars Colonial Transporter. Later, at the 2016 International Astronautical Congress, he renamed it to the Interplanetary Transport System, emphasizing its purpose of facilitating humanity's expansion into interplanetary space, a goal that Musk has long pursued. Despite evolving timelines, Musk envisioned Starship as the key vehicle to establish a permanent human presence beyond Earth. A major breakthrough for realizing this vision is Starship's reusability, taking the next evolutionary step beyond SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket, which already utilizes reusable boosters. However, Falcon 9's reusability is limited to its first stage and payload fairings, with a turnaround time of several weeks. In contrast, Starship's design focuses on full reusability, which could revolutionize space travel and lead to more efficient and sustainable exploration of our solar system. Starship's design is intended for rapid reusability, and its launch tower includes two massive chopstick arms to catch the Super Heavy booster upon return and to stack a landed Starship back onto Super Heavy for relaunch. This latest launch is expected to increase the frequency of Starship's test flights as the vehicle's design continues to be refined. Although the current test iterations do not include the necessary life support and payload systems for crewed missions, SpaceX is betting heavily on the rocket's success. What does the future look like for SpaceX? SpaceX is considering conducting Starship test flights on a monthly basis. If successful, this frequency could help accelerate the spacecraft certification for crewed missions in preparation for Artemis 3. SpaceX is not taking anything for granted. It has a proven track record with the Falcon 9, which has launched more than once a week on average for several years. This shows that the company is committed to ramping up Starship's launch cadence. All through Starship's development, Musk has greatly emphasized on its potential for rapid reusability. Musk envisions a future where a number of Starship vehicles launch, land, and relaunch not once, but several times a day. Wouldn't that be a dream? Well, so much is going right for SpaceX, so the next thing to wonder is, what is the next step? Share your thoughts down in the comments below.